Chapter 490. I'm rank 80. There was an invisible air current around Huo Yua's arms that was guiding these pieces of metal, controlling crane capturing dragon. Bei Bei muttered softly. The 7 pieces of metal slowly gathered. Under Huo Yua's control, they were congregating towards the silver ball that drifted in the air. This works. This time, Sun Swen was watching with a learning attitude. Among the 3 groups of core formations, this was the group that was the most difficult to form. The difficulty lay in the fact that the core formations had to be joined together as the Soul Master poured his soul power into them. There wasn't any room for error at all. Even if he could do it, he would still need some tools to complete it. But right now, he was only using his own abilities. Wasn't he afraid that his soul power was insufficient? His spiritual soul core spun quickly and provided a large amount of soul and spiritual power to Huo Yuao. The 7 core formations that were in the air were under his strict observation. He adjusted their positions and slowly but steadily joined them together. When they were only an inch from the silver ball, Huo Yuao stopped them, then poured his soul power into all of them at the same time. Immediately, these 7 core formations brightened and exuded gentle silver light. At this point, Huo Yuao carefully controlled them as they combined. With his spiritual detection in action, he didn't need to worry about any errors. Clang. An apple-sized group of core formations had been formed. Blinding silver light was rapidly sucking away Huo Yuao's soul power. Among these 8 core formations, there were energy-storing core formations. This Class 8 decomposition cannon had to maintain the circulation of soul power within it as a means of stabilizing the spatial power. Sun Swen was completely in a daze right now. How did Huo Yuao make this process seem so simple? Huo Yuao let out a long breath as he saw the silver metal ball drifting in front of him. I finally completed the critical step. Following this, he joined the other 2 groups of core formations. Since he had already joined the most difficult group, the other 2 groups were naturally not a problem for him. The next step would be the installation process. The dark sky slowly turned deep blue. Dawn was about to arrive. Huo Yuao carried the 1.5 meter Class 8 decomposition cannon that was shining with dim silver light as he stood in front of Sun Swen. He has actually completed it. Sun Swen subconsciously took the cannon in his arms. He didn't even need to test it. He had personally watched Huo Yuao create it. Even though he didn't use a conventional method, he didn't make any mistakes throughout the entire process. Huo Yuao pulled a chair over and sat down. I finally finished it within the time limit. Teacher Sun, can I go this time? Sun Swen used one hand to hold the cannon as he grabbed Huo Yuao with his other hand, saying, Yuao, did you learn how to create soul tools from someone else? Huo Yuao laughed bitterly. No. Didn't you see how raw I was? Sun Swen's lips moved. Raw? You call this raw? You managed to make a Class 8 soul tool after seeing the blueprint for only 3 days. It's even a complex decomposition cannon. You dared call this raw? Huo Yuao was a little embarrassed. Teacher Sun, have you forgotten? I was able to make a soul tool above my class before. When I was a Class 5 soul engineer, I could already make a Class 6 soul tool. That's why it's really nothing much. My spiritual power is above average. I have a natural advantage when creating the core formations. Sun Swen was a little speechless now. A genius indeed couldn't be measured using common logic. This kid has become a Class 8 soul engineer just like that. Isn't this too ridiculous? No, you can't go. I want you to remain and learn the basic knowledge of a Class 8 soul engineer under me. I have the confidence that you'll become a Class 9 soul engineer as long as you can become a titled Douluo in the future. Furthermore, what we really lack now is a talented soul engineer. No matter what, you can't leave this time. What? Seeing how persistent Sun Swen was, Huo Yuao was completely annoyed now. Teacher Sun, you can't go back on your word. Didn't we agree? If I make this decomposition cannon, you'll let me go. Don't worry, I'll be back within a month. Sun Swen was adamant. No. Do you know how precious 1 month is? If the war continues, do you know when the enemy will come? Furthermore, I'm not going back on my word. You haven't finished this decomposition cannon. Don't tell me that you can make this soul tool unleash its full strength. Even though an 8-ring soul Douluo would find it difficult, Huo Yuao's expression turned weird as he looked at Sun Swen. Bei Bei patted his shoulder and said, Yuao, why don't you stay behind? I've already arranged things on the other side. Huo Yuao shook his head and said, No, Elder Senior, it would be fine if it was something else. But we're going to save Teacher Xiaoyu this time. I have to go. Teacher Sun, though I don't wish to contradict you, I have to tell you that I can perfect the use of this decomposition cannon if that means that I can participate in the mission. Rascal, are you out of your mind? It's already not easy for you to create a Class 8 soul tool. You still want to go above your class and try to use it. Creating it and using it are 2 different concepts. Sun Swen rambled furiously. Huo Yuao sighed and said, Teacher Sun, my soul power is already at rank 80. In addition, I have twin martial souls. I have a natural advantage in terms of the total amount of soul power I have. Additionally, the purity of my soul power and the recovery ability of my spiritual soul core means that I can even try a Class 9 soul tool. What? Rank 80? Sun Swen wasn't the only one who exclaimed this time. Bei Bei, Hikato and Sun Swen all exclaimed at the same time. Huo Yuao scratched his head and said, When I got those ice divine crystals, I inadvertently discovered some manifold mysterious ice essence. Only I can absorb that thing. That is why I made great progress. Oh, yes, Elder Senior, I went to the ice fire yin yang well and brought back some good stuff. I'll share it with everyone later. The plant-type soul beasts in the well gave it to me. It's the essence that they produce themselves. I believe it can help everyone's cultivation. Bei Bei looked at Huo Yuao before turning to Sun Swen. He probed. Teacher Sun, surely Yuao wasn't slacking, right? Sun Swen's breathing had evidently become a little unbalanced. Slack your head. After he finished speaking, he turned his head and left. Just as Bei Bei and Huo Yuao thought he was angry, Sun Swen's voice sounded from afar. 1 month. Just 1 month. 1 month later, you'd better get back. Do you understand me? You won't be able to leave then. Yes, I understand. Huo Yuao was delighted. He knew that he had finally convinced Teacher Sun. Sun Swen didn't persist in asking Huo Yuao to test the cannon. This was because he believed Huo Yuao wasn't lying. Rank 80. He's already rank 80 at his age. He must have set a record in Shrek Academy's history. Sun Swen appeared to be furious as he left. However, he was actually very delighted. Huo Yuao's foundation was there. He had full confidence that he could nurture Huo Yuao into a true Class 8 soul engineer in the future. This matter is finally settled. Huo Yuao only wanted to sleep right now. He had drained a lot of his energy over the past 3 days and nights. Little Junior, are you fine? If not, we can leave a day later. Bei Bei asked concernedly. Huo Yuao shook his head and answered, There's no need for that, Elder Senior. We can't make Ding Yan and Elder Song wait for us. I'm fine. I'll grab a bite later. I'll take this time to meditate for 2 hours and eat just before we leave. Bei Bei was in a good mood too. With Huo Yuao around, he was more confident in their mission this time. This was especially after he realized that Huo Yuao's soul power had reached rank 80. This also meant that the Tang Sect finally had a soul Douluo apart from Teacher Sun. Little Junior, keep the stuff that you brought back from the ice fire yin yang well with you first. There's bound to be casualties because of the war. We'll give them to whoever needs them. It's a waste to directly use it to increase our cultivations. Furthermore, we are cultivating quite well right now. Sounds good. Huo Yuao acknowledged his words and immediately started to meditate. There was nothing better than meditating to restore his energy right now. Daybreak. The sky had already turned bright, and Bei Bei led those from the Tang Sect outside Shrek Academy as they silently waited. Huo Yuao was still a little listless even though he had already grabbed a bite. However, some of his energy had been restored after resting for 2 hours. He could only rest after getting to the front lines, but Shrek Academy wasn't too far from the fighting. Not long afterward, Ding Yan, Shaosh and Elder Song walked out from the academy. Elder Song, Ding Yan. Bei Bei hurriedly rushed up to receive them. Elder Song smiled and asked, Are you guys ready? We're all ready, Bei Bei answered. Elder Song was the most senior, and was also the strongest. Right now, it was evident that she was leading the rest. Bei Bei was leading the people from the Tang Sect, with Shu Sanchi, Jiang Nanan, Huo Yuao, Xia Xiao, Di Juikan, Nan Qiukai and Yu Yu with him. They indeed had a strong lineup for this mission. Only a few leading figures from the Soul Tool Hall remained in the Tang Sect. Sun Swen, Hikato, Dalu, Nana and Jingzi Xian were all holding the fort at headquarters. All right, let's move out. Elder Song waved her hand. She was already flying in the air. Yan Xiaosh nodded at everyone else before he flew up. Ever since the last beast wave and after he was emotionally hurt, he had been keeping a low profile. Now that he was following Elder Song to the front line, and considering that Elder Song was Shenliner's mother, he became even more reserved. Everyone from the Tang Sect followed behind the two transcendent Douluo and proceeded towards the front line. Shrek City was within the Heavenly Soul Empire's territory. It was located to the southeast of the Empire. Even though more than 2/3 of the Heavenly Soul Empire's territory had been occupied, the west of Shrek City was still under the Heavenly Soul Empire's control. Apart from this, the Empire still controlled most of the southeast parts of its borders. The south of the Empire was linked to the Dalu Empire. To prevent the Sun Moon Empire from attacking them from the south, the Dalu Empire did their best to support the Heavenly Soul Empire. This helped the remaining troops of the Heavenly Soul Empire regain some stability. East of the Heavenly Soul Empire was the Doulu Empire. Close to half of the Doulu Empire's troops were in the Heavenly Soul Empire trying to resist the Sun Moon Empire. The three empires of the original Douluo continent could be said to be banding together to fight a common enemy. The team from Shrek needed to cross the plains of the Heavenly Soul Empire and reach the north of it before proceeding to the northwest. In less than 500 kilometers, they would reach the front line. This showed how close the Sun Moon Empire's army was from Shrek City. For someone as strong as Elder Song, flying for 2 hours at her fastest speed would bring her to the front line. With the Tang Sect team with her, they would need around 4 hours. From afar, the Sun Moon Empire's military base could be seen on the ground. This was the first time that everyone from the Tang Sect had seen a battlefield of such a scale. Compared to the borders of the Dalu Empire, the battlefield here was much larger. The Heavenly Soul Empire had set up their formation in a city known as Heavenly Spirit City. As they had too many soldiers, they had no choice but to extend their formation outside the city. Most of the army was quite spread out. This was to keep them all from being targeted by a single powerful soul tool. Ever since the start of the war, the Heavenly Soul Empire had on many occasions suffered under the hands of stationary soul cannons. There were close to 500,000 soldiers in the three empires. The Heavenly Soul Empire had the most soldiers here. A number greater than 100,000 was already very impressive. Not to even mention 500,000. Peering from the sky, it appeared as if there were an infinite number of soldiers. On the other side, the Sun Moon Empire had around 300,000 soldiers 25 kilometers from the borders of the Heavenly Soul Empire. Weather was very good today. This was why the entire battlefield was visible. This was especially so for Hua Yuao, who used his spirit eyes. He could even see the aerial surveillance soul tools over the Heavenly Soul Empire. What a vast battlefield. Although the Daluo Empire had many soldiers, most of the empire was covered in mountainous regions, and the scale of its army was also not as great as that of the Heavenly Soul and Sun Moon Empires. This was why it wasn't very obvious that they had many soldiers. Rest for a moment. Elder Song asked everyone to stop. They weren't too far from Heavenly Spirit City. In a war, misunderstandings arose easily. To prevent this, it wasn't wise for them to advance recklessly. Thanks so much for watching this video. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Also leave a comment down below with suggestions on what novels to read.